Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 1979 final of the AMCO Shield. Allow me to introduce the Holy Cross team from Ryde first of all. At number 1, fullback Murray Butt. Number 2, coming up on the left wing, brother of Cronulla's Greg Cox, Andrew Cox. Number 3, inside centre, Mark Ballage. Number 4 is Paul Perkins, New South Wales triallist and nominated for the Australian Schoolboys. On the right wing, number 5, Mark Cullinane. Number 6 at 5'8", the first of the Basil brothers, that's Joe Basil. Number 7 at half is his brother Ed Basil. At lock forward, number 8, Danny Regan. Number 9 in the second row and skipper of the side, Michael Burke. His second row partner, number 10, John Foster. Number 11 prop, Anthony Garcia. Number 12 and hooker, and selected in the New South Wales Catholic Schoolboy side, Benny Elias. And number 13 prop, Orazio Casa. That's Holy Cross. Now St Gregory's College team from Campbelltown. At fullback, number 1, Anthony Field. Number 2 on the left wing, Craig Thompson. Number 3 at inside centre, Digby Murray. Number 4 on out centre, Bruce Miller. Number 5 on the right wing, Chris Vardy. Number 6 at 5'8", Michael Keeley. 7 and major scholarship winner in the 2SM scholarship at half, Ivan Henjak. 8 and lock, Russell Astolfi. Number 9 in the second row, Chris Egan. Number 10, his second row partner and skipper, Tom Spillane. Number 11 and prop, Jim Bailey. Number 12, the hooker, John Horder. And number 13, the other prop, Andrew Durrington. Ladies and gentlemen, St Gregory's College team from Campbelltown, your referee tonight, let me introduce Mr. Kevin Roberts. Well, here we are on camera. I'm John Brennan, and welcome indeed to the 5th AMCO Shield final. And it's the big one. Firm favourites, very firm, St Gregory's College, Campbelltown. But let me tell you from the outset, one has to be very wary of Holy Cross College Ryde because they've proven to be the underdogs right throughout the season. But I can promise you a great match. Allow me now to welcome back to our co-commentary desk our co-commentators for tonight. First of all, the lead rugby league writer for the Herald newspapers, and it's good to be able to say again, welcome to Alan Clarkson.
Thank you very much, John.
And almost becoming a fixture at our commentary position here, Sheffield Shield cricketer and the tough, great second rower from Canterbury Bankstown, Graham Hughes.
Thanks, Don.
Good to have you both, fellas. We'll get your remarks in just a few moments' time. But after this break, we'll be back with the kickoff of the 1979 AMCO Shield final between Holy Cross College Ryde and St Gregory's College, Campbelltown. Fantastic atmosphere at Leichhardt. Everywhere you look, colours of both sides and voices booming as you heard with the introduction, the horns, bands blaring, great stuff. Almost the blast of whistle we'll have from referee Roberts, whom I might mention runs always a great game. And our congratulations to the Referees Association for affording us a first-grade referee always in an AMCO Shield final. A field of green here. And Holy Cross College Ryde running in maroon jumpers with the gold saddle shoulders, and Campbelltown in cerise and blue. And as I said at the outset, the heavyweight contenders. For those of you with black and white sets at home, Campbelltown is running left to right on your screen. All is in readiness for the 5th AMCO Shield final. There's the kickoff from Benny Elias. And it's straight away with St Gregory's. I might mention from the outset, as a mark of respect, you'll notice that all of the Holy Cross College players are wearing a black armband, and that was because of Benny Elias's grandmother, who passed away at the weekend. the funeral today. He was very closely attached to his grandmother, and only his courage and spirit got him on the field tonight. Early moments in a tough final, but the team which settles down the quickest goes on, I think, to better things, would you say, Graham Hughes?
I think so. I think the most important thing, as always, John, is the fact that in the first 15 minutes, get your defence in order, because then your attack flows from there.
Right, so it's St Gregory's in their quarter and clearing Tony Field. Murray Butt running for it, playing his first game at fullback tonight. And Andrew Cox, the brother of Greg Cox, getting his first feel of the ball. 10 metres on their own side of halfway. Running hard, Paul Perkins. No place for the light-hearted out there tonight. That was Danny Regan playing it, putting it up the centre. And they've just penetrated into Gregory's half. Back for a clearing kick. Benny Elias kicking for position, but it's too much, too full. First scrum of the match, just inside Holy Cross's territory. Alan Clarkson, your tip for the night.
Well, I like the look of St Gregory's, although, as you said, John, Holy Cross cannot be discounted. They're an outstanding team. They performed very, very well all the way through, but St Gregory's are a very big side. I'm sure that Graham Hughes would have liked a couple of those forwards in his pack a couple of weeks ago when they played St George. Big men.
Porter slipping at a short one there to Chris Egan, the school captain, prop or second rower, and they're using him in the second row tonight. Porter again a dummy half. Straight away, it's with Bruce Miller. Had a try against Kedron in the semi-final, a very enterprising centre. Back again, keeping it to the right. Horder straight away to Astolfi. Smothering tackle from both Garcia and Regan. Powering through there was Jim Bailey for Campbelltown. Henjak now. Horder with Keeley. Now it's with Murray. Gives a bad pass there. Coming through on the flat was Craig Thompson. And he's quite a flyer. But they've turned it over to Holy Cross College Ryde. And 30 metres out from their own goal line, they're playing it. Coming away, Mark Bullage. He's a flyer, very elusive. Taking it up now, Foster. Over the top was Keeley. Keeping it to the left. Elias. Tricky win tonight, but he finds touch. Pinpointed it well. Ben Elias. Just coming up 16 in November. Gets a glut of possession when he packs down in that scrum. Has great ball skill.
He's a superb player, John, isn't he? 15 years of age in fourth form, or year 10 now, as they refer to it.
And he's won himself,
ahead of him.
Yeah, he's won himself 8 points and is the leader for the 2SM $3,000 tertiary education scholarship
and
from Basel to Basel. Joining in Mark Cullinane. A little hesitation from Danny Regan. A terrier in running and a terrier in defence. Out wide, Elias switching it. Holding up the ball was Michael Burke, their skipper. With Ed Basil, his brother Joe, running straight into the Keeley and Tom Spillane tackle. Double trouble for him, 10 metres now, inside Campbelltown's territory, and the first penalty of the evening after 3 minutes of play.
Even though Campbelltown do rely on a big set of forwards, John, I feel that the game is going to be won by the little men, Ivan Henjak from Campbelltown or Ben Elias from Ryde.
Graham Hughes and Alan Clarkson, our co-commentators tonight. And Benny Elias will take this attempted goal. If my memory serves me correctly, he kicked 2 in the last match down here. And quite apart from being a great dummy half, a clearer of the ball, in fact, the gear stick that drives this machine is a goal kicker as well. From centre field. And 10 metres short of halfway.
This is probably the first match I've seen this year that's gone 5 minutes without a penalty for offside. Now, I was noticing before, and I'm sure the people did at home watching, viewing this.
Scoops his foot under the ball, but it's going to go wide to the right.
How the team stand back to 5 metres. It's good to see.
Running it up 5 metres inside his quarter from Henjak. The run then from Mike Keeley, the 5'8" for Campbelltown. Keeping it to the left, moving the ball and looking good. running hard onto it and testing this defence first up from Holy Cross. John Foster over the top. Now they swing it out. Now it's with Murray. Murray with a little step inside. He's a dangerous player. 4 goals in 2 matches, 2 tries against Evans and New South Wales Catholic Schoolboys side. Didn't dodge that one too well, so the scrum just outside the quarter.
Yes, well, they'll have to be careful here, of course. Nothing silly in the scrums as far as giving penalties away, because it's within easy kicking distance.
Ed Basil, Joe Basil. Oh, he nearly shred them. Surrendered it, though, to Tom Spillane. Gregory's in possession. Here goes Egan. And over the top, John Foster. Anthony Garcia adding substance to the defence. There's the run around, the double on the loop, coming through, and they've split them. Bailey out beautifully and running. Thompson, he's dangerous. Oh, with his ear sprint back. Oh, gee whiz. That Craig Thompson, I told you, he was a flyer. And he bowled it away, full of running, and unfortunately slipped as they sweep it now. And stopped in his tracks. Digby Murray, just inside Cross's quarter, called on as they pepper them now. With Miller, field, and gives a nice one. Tackle though, Chris Vardy.
Superb tackle.
But
superb defence.
What about that from counter-attack? Pinned in their own quarter and brought it from one quarter to the other, Graham Hughes.
Certainly great football, John, but it goes back to what we've said many times before on the show, that when you do get possession, you can't turn it over so easily to such a good side.
So here they swing it now. Out to Miller.
Oh,
now there's Field. He's got the overlap. Oh, the dummy, they bought it. And goes to Thompson. Lovely work. There it is. And listen to that crowd. The first real flash, a dream start from Campbelltown. And the try designer was Tom Field. He threw the dummy. They bought it. But just to play it safe, out to Craig Thompson. And look at it back here on instant replay. There it is with Bruce Miller. Coming up now, that's Field. There's the dummy. Scooping it, I think he could have gone himself to Thompson to make sure. And over to Planter down for the first 3-pointer.
Yes, a very, very good try. And ironically, it came from the first scrum win. Although, as Graham pointed out, you cannot afford to make mistakes, because Holy Cross had the ball in around about the Campbelltown 22-metre mark, dropped the ball, and Campbelltown counter-attacked and eventually scored a try from a mistake that originally came from Ryde.
Graham Hughes.
Well, they certainly showed their wares out wide, Campbelltown, and they're throwing the ball out about even at this early stage and looking real good.
Yes, they're a hot side and putting on quite a show. It took them around about 8 minutes to settle on down, but when they spray that ball, they sweep it. Jim Bailey attempting to convert this try from a very difficult angle. A northerly breeze blowing downfield, so Bailey will have to judge it pretty well. 10 metres inside from touch on the far side of the ground. There's the swell. That flagged away. He's fluffed it. But very important points first up. St Gregory's Campbelltown leading Patrician Brothers Ryde, the Holy Cross College, by 3 points to 0 after the first 8 minutes of play. St Gregory's, a side which has dwarfed anything around since winning the Forbes knockout at the start of the season. Very cool, as you can see. Very calculating, power in the forwards and pace to burn in the backs. Astolfi running up and hitting the line and sucks in 4. Porter. This is Egan. And he reins in on the Holy Cross defence. But another scrum midway between the quarter and halfway in Campbelltown's territory. This is where Holy Cross in a position with which to attack. And penalty. Holy Cross. And it's against Ivan Henjak for not feeding correctly.
Yes, it was quite obvious he tried to roll it around the corner a little bit to give his hooker a bit of an advantage, and has paid the penalty for it. But they're both looking good at this stage. I thought that the Ryde defence has been good. There was some superb cover earlier, and they're going up and they're meeting the man and making Campbelltown work very, very hard for any ground that they gain.
Just one thing I feel at this stage, John, is the fact that the Ryde backs, I feel, are playing too close and are bunching and not stretching out enough out wide, and that's why you find that, or found that both times Campbelltown made breaks right along the touchlines.
A good observation from Graham Hughes. 10 minutes gone, Campbelltown leading Ryde by 3 points to 0 in this AMCO Shield final. Benny Elias. I think he's misfooted that one. This is Ivan Henjak. Gathering momentum and a good run from behind his own goal line out to about 15 metres out. Campbelltown, and they'll take it up. And in there to do some damage in tackling is Danny Regan and Anthony Garcia. Tom Spillane. There's a fella who did some Superman impressions last week against Kedron. Took off literally in the air to bang home his tackles. Big clearing kick. Back to Andrew Cox. And he powers at them, gaining around about 8 to 10 metres. That's Garcia. Elias turning it on the inside. Elias. Look at this tackling from Campbelltown, coming up almost sprinting to collect them. Now with Ed Basil, Joe Basil. He's got 3 on the outside. Elias singing for it. They keep it to the left, they do. Elias kicking.
Great kick.
And a beautiful kick again.
Great kick.
One of the trademarks of his play are those sweet, judicious kicks.
Saves a lot of pounding up the field and getting yourself tackled if you can put one in like that.
This is the first appearance of both Ryde and St Gregory's in a Shield final, and interestingly, the achievement of Ryde represents the first Sydney school from outside the western suburbs to reach the final. So there goes Ed Basil, ghosting up that blind side, but they covered it well. The cover was thick. Regan, met by the Campbelltown defence, just inside Campbelltown's quarter. Foster, robbing about 4 metres. There's the dummy, Elias, beautiful. He's only a metre short. Now Ryde on the attack with Casa going for the line. He's there, I think. No. That must be a half a metre short. Elias sweeping it in. Basil through his brother Joe. Balage with Perkins. Oh, look at that defence. Tenacious tackling, running up and blocking them over. And the scrum on the quarter.
Heavens above. He must have been... I thought he was over then, John. I was watching on one of the monitors here. He seemed to be over and was pushed back. Now, that's great defence. Great defence by Campbelltown.
Garcia to Casa. Casa was the one almost over. Then they swept it. As they do this time, plugging it on, the chop out, and they're joining up Perkins. But he's well tackled, gets a nice one out to Cullinane. With those twinkling feet veering back inside. Digby Murray was the tackler. This is Joe Basil for Holy Cross. Chris Egan puts him to ground. But I think he's lost it, and a scrum once again on Campbelltown's quarter.
Just one thing, I think that Ryde attempting to run one out at this stage and not getting with the man with the ball.
Here they come this time, sniping up the left. They hesitated. They thought the referee's whistle blew. There's a great one out to Cullinane. He'll go over. Yes, try. Holy Cross College Ryde. A try. Murray Butt sniped up on the left side. Took the good pass. Gave it to Cullinane. Watch it. There was the hesitation there. And then it came to Butt. Got out of one, scrappy bit of defence there, and then Cullinane went for the line with a desperation tackle from Tony Field, but they were in there. All the sternness and the terribly competitiveness of Ryde well in fashion. It's 3-all.
Very interesting try. In fact, I think 2 or 3 players there hesitated, thinking Kevin Roberts had ruled for another scrum to be put down, but full credit to Murray Butt, who broke through and put the winger over in a very professional manner.
Yes, the old saying, of course, is that, you must play to the whistle, and they've paid the penalty for it.
Exactly.
although Ryde nearly paid the penalty when there was that hesitation. But possession, of course, is coming thick and fast to Ryde now, and this is going to be one of the big problems for Campbelltown, and they will have to tackle as well as they did last week when they were penalised 16-2 or something.
Benny Elias, almost from touch. There she is. She's airborne, and I don't think you'll... Oh, gee whiz. Missed it by a whisper. Just a little bit of a lazy ball at the finish and dropped in front of the goal mouth. So the score 3-3. But they've retaliated, Ryde. And the crowd, of course, more than happy with Cullinane, and together with Murray Butt. Graham said, hesitated, went on and gave out a good pass and a three-pointer.
As Alan was saying, John, the scrums at this stage are 5-2 in favour of Ryde.
16 minutes gone in the first half. It's 3-3, and we have a great game on our hands in the AMCO Shield final. Danny Regan. A good 15-minute game. He's a runner. Is this Anthony Garcia, full of energy. Foster. Swinging it on the inside to Michael Burke, who picked him up. Yeah, they're taking play upfield. Elias. Not this time. Out of Cullinane's tackle. But not out of Foster's and Garcia's. They make the hit. Campbelltown with the ball. Running left to right of your screen. Chris Egan hits the line. Again around him, Anthony Garcia. Now with Horder. Through Keeley. This is Bruce Miller. Thompson recovering, but the chasers are there, and they trap him 10 metres short of his own side of halfway. Paul Perkins was the one who put him to ground.
Oh, great tackle. Great tackle.
Gee whiz, talk about Mac the Knife. He wiped him out, didn't he? Danny Regan. Into the deep zone. He'll have to chase that one, Andrew Cox. But a good run out. 15 metres out from his goal line. And like a little cobra up on the right side, snaking his way. But he's put his foot out, but they're just short of their own quarter. In Holy Cross's territory, it's 3-3. Past winners of the Shield, Patrician Brothers Fairfield 75 in our inaugural year. 76 Blacktown High, 77 Ashcroft High, and 78 Patrician Brothers Fairfield. 79, it's Bruce Miller with it. Murray at least, Digby Murray, wrapped up though by Bellage. On the quarter, Campbelltown plugging the ball out. Keeley holding it back. And it was tight marking from his opposite, Joe Basil. Order with Astolfi for Campbelltown. And it's Joe Basil and Anthony Garcia who envelop him. 15 metres out, running onto a Tom Spillane. Oh, nice one. Horder, but runs smack bang right into Danny Regan, who looks after him smartly. Right on his own quarter, Campbelltown. Bailey on the right. Michael Burke, and coming in to finish it off, Anthony Garcia. Horder with Keeley now. Now, swinging it out. Field, he got the ball from Digby Murray. A great bit of run here from Andrew Cox. And almost up to halfway. But he really lets fly. He can move. After 20 minutes of play, it's 3-3 in the 1979 AMCO Shield final between St Gregory's Campbelltown and Holy Cross College Ryde. Joe Basil going for the break.
Ryde are going to make things very, more than interesting in the second half with this amount of possession, because they'll have the wind behind them in the second half. They're running into the breeze now. And with that wind behind them, the way they're kicking the ball and finding touch, they're going to put a lot of pressure on Campbelltown.
I'm quite sure Benny Elias will use that wind in the second half to great advantage.
Elias now. Straight away to Garcia. That's one of the pronounced highlights of his play. The little dummy And 9 times out of 10 they take, and he goes right up the middle of the ruck. But not now. Billage with Perkins. Perkins a strong centre, but well looked after. Oh, he rounded him up, put him to ground. That was Digby Murray. Now they've got 2 on the left. Here's Elias with the dummy on the inside. They board it. Pass to Cullinane, picked up beautifully. Burke with it, hesitating, looking for support. And out in a touch. But there was all the spade work done by Elias. And beautifully picked up on a loose pass to Mark Cullinane. Eventually taken up by their skipper Burke, who backed up like a little sheepdog at their heels. But unfortunately the ball went into touch. Campbelltown with the ball within their own quarter, 10 metres out from their goal line.
One interesting point, Alan, has been the fact that the Ivan Hanjack, instead of standing out wide where you thought he might have created a bit of trouble, has been the dummy half since the start of the match.
Yes, I just wonder whether... I think he took a bit of a pounding last week, and maybe he's not quite as alert or quite as... Whoops, trouble now.
This could be danger. Perkins with the ball. Another great tackle from Digby Murray, put him to ground. Taking it up now, Anthony Garcia. Again, Murray into the action. Straight away, Foster. And that was Bailey who halted his run. Still taking it up through the middle. There's a big thrust from Casa. Now Basil, if they swing it out, the chop out with Billage.
Oh.
It was quick hands, all right, but unfortunately Perkins couldn't get it. But they moved the ball smartly, then they strung their passes.
Yes, they seem to have, at this stage, they seem to have that little bit of extra class about their play, particularly when Elias puts his spoke into it there.
It's like they took their training form into this match. They're looking very together at the moment, Graham.
Well, they're doing a lot of chasing at the moment, St Gregory's, and Ryde have got possession to squander at this stage.
Gee, he nearly punctured the line that time. That's Joe Basil. Has formed a great combination with his brother at halfback. This is his brother now, showing the ball, feinting. Then Burke backing him up. They're keeping the ball alive. Elias, right in front of the goal mouth. And it took Horder's tackle to bring him down. Now Casa, Ed Basil, slipping past one. But they're 8 metres short of the goal line. Elias going from dummy half. Gee, they've had to hold him up. It's being pulled around this defence at the moment, but it's well drilled from Campbelltown, and a penalty to Campbelltown.
That was bad playing away because Ryde definitely had an overlap out here on the left-hand side, and incorrectly playing the ball. A mistake has cost a possible 5 points.
So play still within the quarter of... They've been pinned down there for some time, virtual prisoners, in fact. 6 more to go, says Kevin Roberts. Referee officiating tonight as Tom Spillane decides, let me go and let me split. He brings play up well to the quarter. And that was Jim Durrington. Horder clearing Mike Keeley. Cox is back, taken on the meat of his chest. Battling now with Craig Thompson. Thompson reels him down by the shoulder, rounds him up well. This is Murray Butt having a good game tonight. A winger, but playing at fullback tonight. Danny Regan, a good run to the quarter. He made great inroads that time. Elias. Joe Basil. Momentarily held up. They go and he shoots up, picks up acceleration. Ooh, he moved beautifully for about 10 metres. Casa. Reversing it now. Over here with Burke. Hitting the line. Now this is Joe Basil for Holy Cross. Gee, they're peppering this line at the moment. Last one coming up. Elias. To the right. Out wide. Billage. Desperation tackle. Penalty.
Yeah. Yes,
off the ground.
He passed off the ground. So. A little over-anxious. I suppose you can blame him, really.
The case of that, I'm quite sure if they hadn't have bunched so much and moved the ball a lot earlier, that would have provided the try.
Well, it's 3-3 between Campbelltown and Ryde, 5 minutes before half-time. Experts agree that this is the side the best to have represented the college in AMCO Shield football for Holy Cross. They've certainly lopped off some tall poppies to back that wrap-up. In the quarter-final, they defeated country group winners Glen Innes 18-5. Then in the semi-final, they put away outright favourites Blacktown 17-11. And as you can see, a nice compact side. Campbelltown working it. There's the run-around from Horder. But it's Tom Spillane, and he's well and truly wrapped up. 3 challenges came from Ryde to do just that. Henjack showing his wares, exploiting that nice footwork, which gains 15 metres for Campbelltown. Horder looking to unload, but they're like little terriers. Danny Regan and Elias. From dummy half, here goes Astolfi.
Now they're going one out now.
Exactly. Well, they're a bit frustrated, I feel, because of the fact that this is the first time they've had the ball for about 10 minutes.
Egan running smack bang into Paul Perkins' tackle, and he prunes the run. But they've brought play just outside Holy Cross Ryde's quarter, and what a great match. 3-3, 4 minutes to go to half-time. It's an Ed Basil ball from as the drive came and the clearance. Regan now steaming up the middle, 10 metres short of his own side of halfway, with Elias now. Slips the short one, holds up the ball but gives a nice pass. And that was to Michael Berkey, skipper.
Holy Cross now have the scrums 8-4 at this stage, John. That's a lot of possession.
That's Cullinane trapped in centre field by Horder. Elias holding the ball, and he splits them again. A long pass. Andrew Cox on the burst. Lovely foot. What do you say about this fella? He's the cat amongst the pigeons out there tonight.
I suppose any 15-year-old football genius could do it.
Fair dinkum, Alan. Fair dinkum. It's a long time since we've seen a 15-year-old with such maturity about his play.
I've never seen a better 15-year-old player than this boy. Never.
And there's Butt.
Oh, great cover.
Beautiful cover from Mick Keeley. Came in like the crack of doom. Cullinane inside the quarter with Casanao. Ed Basil. They're backing up. Here goes Garcia. Bailey is called on to bring him down. Right in front of the goal mouth. Ed Basil. Now with Elias. Elias breaks ahead again. I think he's over. What? I don't know. I know the good Lord rested on the 7th day, but surely on the 8th he must have created this kid. Hey? Fair dinkum. It's 6-3 in favour of Holy Cross College Ryde. Graham Hughes on. Look at that. Over he goes.
Certainly is a great player and a great prospect. Plays very much like Mike Stevenson in the Open. Good with his hands. Initially, he was the one that made the break to put them well inside the Campbelltown 25, and a well-deserved try.
Great break, wasn't it? You don't know exactly what he's going to do when he's got that ball, because his hands are his tool mark too.
Yes,
tools of trade, at least.
He's a superb player. But, once again, I've just got to say that I don't think I've ever seen a better 15-year-old player. When is he 16 November, I think, isn't it, John?
Yes, November, yeah.
What a future, this boy. What a future.
And there it is. A sweet hit from Benny Elias. He's converted his own try. So they lead by 8 points to 3 with 1.5 minutes to go before halftime. And Elias has kicked 1 from 4 attempts.
So he can win the scrums, score tries, kick goals.
I know.
He probably can't cook.
Ah, dear. Just pity the defence of the way they have to cope with this fella. Michael Burke.
I think there are 11 of this Ryde team in the in the SG ball, the Balmain SG ball side, I think, weren't they, John?
Yes, I don't know about necessarily from this side, but I know there were 10 from Holy Cross College Ryde. Now, this is Anthony Garcia pressing forward. As the halftime hooter sounds, Foster will just take it up and go to ground. So At halftime in the 1979 AMCO Shield final, Holy Cross College Ryde have come from the clouds in the last 5 minutes, have put on a try by Elias. He converted it, and they'll now lead Campbelltown by 8 points to 3. A trimmer of a first half of the first 30 minutes. At this stage, Holy Cross College Ryde leading St Gregory's Campbelltown by 8 points to 3. The point scorers for Holy Cross, a try to Andrew Cox and a try to Benny Elias, and Benny Elias converted his own try, and for St Gregory's Campbelltown, a try to Craig Thompson. Another great 30 minutes of the AMCO Shield final coming at you. They're about ready to go. Referee Roberts just waiting for them to settle on down. There's the blast of the whistle, which gets us underway for the second half. Plucked out of the air by Elias. And immediately putting him to ground, having the tackle on him, was Jim Bailey. Sniping on the right, Orazio Cassi for about 5 metres. Elias now looking for the line.
And finding it, of course.
Yes, well,
John Peay couldn't have done better.
No. I think that's going to be, obviously, the tactic. They're 5 points in front. They're going to play it right down in Campbelltown's territory, which is the only place to play it.
And they can do what they like, winning the ball 2-1.
That's right.
but it's Campbelltown's ball without Keeley. And this is Miller out to Murray, Bruce Miller at least. Henjack a dummy half. Through Keeley with Astolfi now. With Ryde having an 8-3 advantage score over Campbelltown. Horder slipping a short one to Spillane. Hitting hard, but he runs into a wall, as you saw from Ryde. Henjack Horder. Darrington hipping into double trouble. They're short on men out here on the left.
I don't think they're going to get through there.
They were right at his heels, weren't they? Henjack trying to do his utmost.
They need a little bit of magic from this young man now.
Yeah, I still can't work out why, in fact, he's playing the dummy half role.
Been watching Manly.
He took the words out of my mouth. Henjack. Penalty. Referee Roberts. So this is Bruce Miller. Digby Murray, at least.
How many tries, in fact, do you see scored just before half-time and just after? We saw it happen with Ryde, and Ken Campbelltown hit back with a try just after half-time.
That's right.
Well, as you saw, Digby Murray belted it and it spun downfield, and going for a short burst is Craig Thompson. Taken by the Ryde defence, Henjack, or coming up on the left field. But Regan came in and had the tackle on him. Horder with Keeley now. Drop one. And there's the brute. This could be a great opportunist try. Scooting away. Basil, I don't think he's going to have the speed. Oh, a glorious last-minute tackle from field. And just wiped him out. But what a magnificent run. Michael Burke then, met by some pretty hefty Egan defence. Now Bellage runs at the Campbelltown defence with Ed Basil now. Sniping and threading his way through. 9 metres out. And this is Ryde with the ball. Holy Cross. Elias with the drop. But wide of the posts. Now, while these two schools are battling tonight for the Shield and the total of $6,000 worth of equipment from National, we mustn't forget the great prizes of sports equipment that are going to these schools, eliminated from the group finals, quarterfinals and semi-finals. Those consolation prizes coming from AMCO and the great chain of Grace Brothers, with 10 top stores through Sydney and suburbs.
I think Benny Elias erred there, and the fact that he didn't use up his 6 tackles, and he threw away a possible 5 points because they were well stretched out badly on the right, Campbelltown.
Campbelltown aren't out of this, of course. I mean, if they can get a little bit of possession or consecutive possession, they could But I think they've got to move it out a little bit, don't you, Graham?
Yeah, they've got to move the ball wider.
No way they can get through the middle the way those Ryde boys are tackling. They're tackling superbly.
Well, that was Bruce Miller who poured into the play. So another scrum going down midway between the quarter and halfway in Campbelltown's territory. And the Patrician Brothers School, Holy Cross College Ryde, leading St Gregory's Campbelltown 8-3. Ooh, there's a penalty. And he pings Henjak for what you obviously saw. The discussion, and Elias says, I'm going to go for goal.
So he should.
This year, coach John O'Brien of Holy Cross College Ryde and his assistants, Kevin Smythe and brother Stephen, drew on their crack under-16s of 1978 to mould this group of lads into an all-round side. They had the credentials because they didn't lose a game in Junior League last year and won 5 competitions, including the Kogan MCS. You might like to tell our viewers, Alan, how many they've got coming back next year out of this side.
I think Brother said there were 11 of them coming back. So best of luck for the rest of the teams that are entering for the AMCO Shield.
Early favourites.
35 metres out, straight in front. There's the hit. Not sweet this time. That one certainly didn't stick, as Tony Field brings it up 15 metres out from his own goal line. Hitting the line. Good run then from Keeley. Astolfi. Nice pass to Egan, who ran onto the ball. And I think the first injury that we've had tonight. This play is held up. Trainer going on to attend to, I think it's Egan behind the quarter.
And the trainer, I might say, is Lionel Williamson, the former Test winger.
Oh, Lionel, yes, I meant to say that. Lionel attending to one of the Campbelltown players, Chris Egan. And I might mention the only surviving member of that boom side of last year for Campbelltown is Tom Spillane, their skipper. And so new material that Peter Mulholland and brother Silverius and sprint trainer Dave Irvine had to work with in 79, and they've polished it up into a very talented run-happy side. Spillane, the man to whom I referred a few moments ago, the only surviving member of the 78 Campbelltown side. Field. It's a long, spectacular ball. And back there covering Cullinane. Playing Now You Have Me, Now You Haven't with Ivan Henjak. 10 metres short of Ryde's portion of halfway. Casa. Running crab-like, though. Oop, and losing it. And onto it like a vulture. Chris Vardy.
If they move it now, they've got some problems.
Astolfi. Running amok. Like an enraged bear then. 10 metres inside, crosses portion of halfway. Egan now. These big forwards taking it up well. Field backing up. Can't unload, though. Andrew Cox was the player.
I'm sure if they move it wide now, they've got a good chance.
Yes, good chance.
And they're going to do it. Spillane trapped on the quarter.
Few too many forwards getting involved out wide.
And Jack scooping it, plugging it on now. This is Digby Murray with a beautiful run. Oh, he ran through them. By gee, I thought he ran through that defence, didn't he? Just like a kid through a lollipop shop. Oh, gee.
Well, they definitely look a whole lot better, as you said before, Alan, when they do move the ball wide.
Yes. They had 2 opportunities then, but they just went to ground with it. And had they shifted it, they would have had the Ryde in quite a lot of trouble.
That was Digby Murray, who was in the New South Wales Catholic side. They'll be playing up at Endeavour against Queensland, just as the entree before you get that nice beef match of the University Shield final this coming Saturday. Digby Murray, lovely centre, number 3 for Campbelltown. I think he was offside. Poor old Ed Basil walking down with head down. So right in plumb centre. They get this penalty. 9 minutes gone of the second half, and Ryde 8 leading St Gregory's College 3. Number 15 on for Gregory's John Peters. And he could well be taking the place of Chris Vardy on the right flank. And this will be Digby Murray to take it in centre field and go for this penalty. So John Peters on the right flank. Jim Durrington off, the big prop. So Vardy will go into the pack and Peters on the right wing. But it's Digby Murray now. And he's swept it over. How sweet it is for the Campbelltown supporters. And it's 8-5. Ryde leading Campbelltown 8-5 in this 79 AMCO Shield final. They were 5 points down at half-time and they had the task ahead of them. They've cut the deficit by 2. And running sweetly, John Peters, the replacement player. Now on their own quarter. Henjek. He decides to try and make a midfield burst, but walks about 3 metres. Porter now, switching it to the right. Here goes Murray. Running onto the ball, that was Tom Spillane.
Starting to look a lot stronger with the ball, Campbelltown.
He was taking over now. They swing it here, they'll be in strife. Astolfi. That was Bruce Miller. Henjek, and he's through, he's cut them up. He's got support on the right, the little step up beautifully. Porter. Oh, but what a cunning little bit of exploiting his speed then. He's a finer 79, this Henjek. Lightning acceleration to telling effects around the rucks. This is Tom Spillane now, weaving and getting it back to Thompson. They're looking dangerous. This is the Campbelltown machine, really fully flexing their muscles.
Yes, well, once they get a bit of possession, of course, if they can win this scrum, it's going to be very interesting. But
of course, it's taken a long time for little Ivan Henjek to make an appearance in the game, really.
Yes, Graham. I think Alan mentioned he had a pretty tough ordeal last week. He came off with a very badly injured knee.
Well, he's definitely got to start running now.
I believe they've had to work overtime on it. Danny Regan for Ryde. Murray Butt pressing forward.
Oh, Holy Cross, of course, they won that scrum, as you saw, and that was their 10th scrum out of the 15 that have been decided so far. So.
That was Balage bringing it upfield, as does now Orazio Casa. They're 10 metres short of halfway in their own territory. Here's Elias with a little chip. It's a nice lazy ball. How's the bounce? Beautiful, Elias! He hasn't got the support.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Bad boy, oh boy. He's just a fundamentally sound player, isn't he?
Yeah, and of course, on top of all those attributes, he keeps on winning the most important scrums.
Right. Great ball work, too.
Yes, that was a vital one, the one down on his own line then.
Yeah, they were looking dangerous, Campbelltown.
Now they'll put the pressure on Campbelltown now.
Ed Basil with the short ball to his brother at 5'8". Keeley had him blocked.
They're definitely
out wide
in trouble.
now. This is dangerous, Elias. Oh.
Shouldn't have let it. He should have let it go then, I think.
Yep. Digby Murray didn't buy it, though. There he is. After all that great lead-up work. Campbelltown working it away. Oh, this is going to be a nice run. He's a strong player. Digby Murray becoming very involved in the match now. Very strong player and very fast. Looks like Michael Tranby's going to come on wearing jumper number 14 for Campbelltown. He's a second rower. This is Egan getting it back. Now again, Murray on the inside, Astolfi. But he was sandwiched. One of whom was Michael Burke. The other one was Elias. Porter to the right. And runs into a wall of players. Among them, Foster and Garcia. Clearing one. Cullinane, but backing him up. The chasers, Tom Spillane, one of them. Now they can move it here. Basil cracking on the pace. He's through. That was a nice breakout by Ed Basil. Perkins for Holy Cross and trying to blockbuster his way through. Foster with Elias now. Through him back to Foster. On the right. Burke. Hipping. He's got him on the outside. Nice pass. Veering back infield. That was Andrew Cox. On the right flank. Burke going for the line. Held up. Great spade work done by Burke. Elias. Casa. I tell you what, did he get that ball away?
Well, I'd like to see it again. I thought it was forward myself.
Pass. That was Elias at anyhow a dummy half. They swarmed on him and he managed to watch it here. Gee, it's touch and go, isn't it, Graham? But it's 3 points on the board. Casa, he manages to put it on down. And there it is. So, is that the second nail in the Campbelltown coffin? The crowd a buzz, as you can imagine, from Holy Cross Ryde and try. Alan Clarkson.
Well, I don't like to be critical of referees, but I thought that was forward. I thought the young man took it ahead of Elias. But the referee was a lot closer than I am and at a better angle, of course, and he agreed, and it's on the board, and that's all there is about it. But once again, as Graham has pointed out a couple of times, possession is all important. Young Elias won 2 scrums in a row there, and it made all the difference. They were able to come back from defending their own line to be attacking the Campbelltown line and to eventually score.
There's no way you can keep him out of the game.
No.
Joe Basil, the 5/8 for Holy Cross Ryde, and about 10 metres in from touch and right on Campbelltown's quarter. So, Holy Cross College Ryde 11, St Gregory's Campbelltown 5. Peter Mulholland has fashioned a fine side, and they did him proud. They've come back very well in the last 15 minutes, Campbelltown. Joe Basil. He lets fly, but this one's going to swing wide. So the score remains Holy Cross College Ryde 11, St Gregory's Campbelltown 5. And after 18 minutes of play.
And of course they've got 3 tries on the board, and probably the dominant part of the game to show that they've only got 6 points. 6-point lead at this stage.
Well, the fans in full voice now. The players getting that adrenaline flowing again as Danny O'Regan swirls his way up to almost the quarter. And this is Anthony Garcia and John Horder met him.
Can you see great potential in quite a few of these players, Graham?
Oh, there certainly is a lot of good players. There's one of them's had a good game tonight,
yes.
Tony Field.
Yes.
Very safe and secure. The chaser there was Andrew Cox. Right on halfway, Craig Thompson comes at the Holy Cross players. Henjack through Horder, picking up Chris Vardy. Now Casa, the last try scorer, as they surrendered possession to Holy Cross, and the maroon and golds have it with Elias swinging it out. Balage plugging it onto Foster. Foster almost to halfway. In turn, surrendering it now to Campbelltown.
They've got a great chance if they move the ball immediately, Campbelltown.
Well, they're going to take your advice. Spillane onto Astolfi, picking him up well. On the inside, Thompson, he's got them all collected well. Andrew Cox took him out of the game. Henjack, Horder now. This is Michael Tranby.
They don't want to become frustrated at this stage because of the fact they've still got plenty of time to get back into the game.
Porter again with Keeley. Spillane got in the way. Gives a long one out to Field. His defence, though, soaking up the pressure. Holy Cross College Ryde. Porter again. Spillane going for the tearaway. And makes inroads in centre field, as does Henjack now, scooping from dummy half. He's there! Yes! Try to Ivan Henjack. That'll be great to watch. From dummy half. They've gone to 8. Ryde leading 11 points to 8, and here he is, watch him. As I said to you a little while ago, his acceleration around the rucks he uses to great telling effect. And what a burst.
Well, in fact, that's only the second crack that he's had in this game, and of course both times he's broken the line. In fact, here we have 3 points. I wonder, could it be 3 times proves it to seal the match?
Well, he's an artful dodger, this fella, and really exploiting his toe, his dashes tonight, particularly in this second half. So if Digby Murray collects this one over, it's 11-10, and we have a game and a half on our hands. Oh, gee whiz. I was going to say how sweet it was. It was a little bit of a curler, and it tucked in that right upright, as you saw. So it's 11-10. St Gregory's Campbelltown trailing by 1 point. And have they come back?
They certainly have, as Graham pointed out before. 3 tries to 1, and there are only 5 points of difference. The goal kicking, of course, has been vital.
11-5, and you thought they were only about 20 minutes away from the jaws of defeat, but boy, have they come back and looking hot. And look at them running on the ball now. Tranby nice and fresh. And bustling forward. Porter. They won't take the dummy this time. Elias blocks him in the centre of the ruck. Porter. This is Astolfi. Oh, look, the defence very scrappy. Thompson with one to beat. But gee, did the cover come across. It was beautifully thick.
And it's still on if they move the ball wide.
Porter, Trezeguet with Keeley, now with Murray.
Oh, that's
and a
it.
long one, beautifully done, and they're going to go in over here.
That's it.
Oh, what a try! What a try from John Peters. They've hit the front. They're 13-11. The crowd has erupted. We have a try from Campbelltown. And what a flash. Look at this for backline movement. There it came. Out from Keeley, and this was Digby Murray, and the big chop out.
And nobody cares. Your all-inclusive safari ticket covers all shows and attractions except rides. Drive through the Lion, Tiger and Bear Reserve. See the Dolphin and Sea Lion show. The Parrot Circus and Pets Corner. Ride the Safari Railway. Take a helicopter.
Predicted. If they moved it right, they were going to score, which they did, but I think that it was helped along quite considerably by that long pass from Murray. It was a beautiful bit of work.
Great ball from Murray, and it goes back to what we said earlier, just after half-time, Alan. In fact, when they move the ball wide, they do look a lot better, in fact, than Ryde.
Yeah, you can't get through those forwards. They're too strong, the Ryde men. Too strong.
So here's Digby Murray. So with 8 minutes left, St Gregory's Campbelltown 13 and Holy Cross College Ryde 11.
And this is where it comes into being the team that makes the least number of errors in this last 5 or 6 minutes or so. I think will be the winners.
They were outgunned in the first half, Campbelltown, but then facing this fusillade of tries from Holy Cross College Ryde have hit back with such power and determination. And look at the running now. Basil getting it out. That was Astolfi putting it to ground.
And that's the sort of errors they've got to cut out.
Yes, especially if they could lose, well, which they have done, lost possession now.
Joe Basil going for the break. And his opposite, Mike Kelly, looking after him. Cutting out Elias that time, and that was Butt. He's in the middle of the ruck. This is Elias.
Oh, good tackle too, right around the bootlaces.
We've got Danny Regan off. Danny Regan, their lock forward. So the substitution has been made with Elias running hard for Holy Cross. Number 14 is on. They're keeping the ball alive. Here goes Foster for the line. He's brought down 5 metres out. And this is where they're attacking. Iron Will from Campbelltown will be needed in the defence. Burke charges.
They must move it out.
And that was the last tackle. Number 14 is on, David Coyle. He's gone on the wing.
Butt's gone into lock forward, I think.
Penalty. Oh, gee whiz. He collects this one. It's 13 all. And we have 5 minutes to go. And if the event of a draw, let me tell you, in the event of a draw, AMCO Cup countback rules apply. In order, tries.
He took the tap.
Took the tap. I was just looking from instructions as Elias goes a metre short. Basil Foster.
Oh, good tackle.
Gee whiz, that's Tom Spillane. I tell you, he was like Superman last week. He's brought it off again tonight. Basil. That's Butt. It's anybody's ball. Stacks on the mill. And Campbelltown, no, Holy Cross with it.
It's back to 6.
Running at them.
Another 6.
After pouring it on Elias from dummy half. Can he put it down? Oh, picked up. Basil over. Oh! A chapter of errors. And eventually, Ed Basil, who jumps with jubilation, has he picked up a... Here it is from Elias from dummy half. I thought he was almost in himself. He plants it down about a half a metre short. There goes the ball loose, and from the ensuing play, look at Basil. Comes through like a startle hare and down over 3 points. And there it is, 14-13. Holy Cross leading Campbelltown, 4 minutes to go.
Well, I thought that they made an error in not going for goal, and now they've won the game. So, but you know, you can't afford to make mistakes. The young fellow did the right thing in going for the ball to try and stop Elias putting it down. It spun out, and you saw the result there. A very alert try.
Isn't it? Graham?
Well, I think it's just a disappointing way to end a great game, if that in fact is to be the end.
Yeah. Yes, well, about 3 minutes to go. I could understand them not taking the kick, but they've made me look silly, I suppose. But I think I would have taken the kick then.
So we have Elias lining up this ball, and it's just a little off centre, and about, about 15 metres in. Waiting for Elias. They lead by 1 point. And here he comes. Let's fly. Oh, gee, I tell you what, they're not on target tonight. The accuracy is not there.
No.
In fact, between them, from all of the attempts they've had, only 3 have gone over. So the score remains Holy Cross College Ryde 14, St Gregory's College Campbelltown 13. And over on the far side, you can hear chorus after wobbly chorus of "Come on, Cross, come on," just ringing across this field out onto the Parramatta River as Gregory's come back with a minute and a half up their sleeve. Andrew Cox. No, it's David Coyle on this right flank. This is Balage. And wrapped up by Michael Tranby.
Cross now cannot afford to make an error.
Now we have number 16 on, Michael Cleary. No relation to that outstanding former South Sydney winger, Australian representative, twin representative, in fact, Michael Burke. Very good for the 6. Elias with a little show of hand. Basil like a little terrier.
I think that both teams are to be commended. The fact that there have been only 8 penalties in this game in just on an hour of football, and I think that speaks volumes for the coaches and for the players themselves.
Now here we go.
Their last chance,
Keeley,
probably.
and he makes the break. He's got support on the left.
Oh.
Collected. But backing up beautifully was Field.
That's
in
it.
front of it. And they're in. He's there.
That's it.
A try to Tony Field, and Campbelltown have taken it. They have snatched victory from out of the arms. It's 16-14. With 15 seconds to go, it's all over. There it is,
What
the
a
initial break
beautiful
from
run.
Mike Keeley. A beautiful breakout. He comes now. I thought he was going to spin it out there to Murray, but on the inside, backing him up, right at his heels was Tony Field. He comes now, eludes one, and then with his ears pinned back, every stride, every metre, a beautiful metre so far as Campbelltown is concerned.
Look at that.
And
Boy.
over. Oh, gee.
What determination. What a finish.
Oh, they've come back breathing fire in this last few minutes, haven't they, Greg?
And they've produced 2 classic football tries to take this game out.
Oh, that was a magnificent try.
In actual
Well.
fact, I think that's 4 tries in the last 10 minutes.
They've snatched this game out of the jaws of victory so far as Cross is concerned. And here he goes, and he couldn't care less about that one. But I tell you what, so far as Field is concerned, the crowd say, take home Leichhardt Oval, you deserve it. And scenes of pandemonium and ecstasy have broken out here as the supporters jump the fence. But after this break, with Holy Cross College Ryde going down to St Gregory's College Campbelltown in the last seconds of play by 16 points to 14. And after this break, we'll be back for the presentation of the shield and medallions to the 1979 champions. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live at Leichhardt for you, the viewer at home, and now on the public address system for the benefit of you, the spectator at Leichhardt. We have now the 1979 Shield champions, triumphant in victory, St Gregory's College Campbelltown. Now following their captain and a very proud man, Tom Spillane, up the steps for the presentation. And there he is, lifting it high with much pride, receiving the shield, Tom Spillane for Gregory's. You can hear that cool, that school spirit coming right across this Leichhardt Oval. A mammoth performance from these boys and a mammoth performance from the supporters who backed them. And Tom Spillane received that presentation from Mr. Kevin Humphreys, the Executive Director of the New South Wales Rugby League and Chairman of the Australian Rugby League, and now the individual medallions being presented by the New South Wales Minister for Education, the Honourable Eric Bedford, MHR. There've been a monument to the game, St Gregory's College Campbelltown, and as have Holy Cross College Ryde, and their performance tonight was typical of the fight that one sees in any of the Holy Cross College sides. But look at these fellows receiving with a great amount of pride, each member of the side, along with the coach, the referee and touch judges, receiving their plaques or medallions, a replica of the AMCO shield, and in the familiar colours of AMCO red, white and blue. I might mention on this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, that the voting of the Player of the Year for the 2SM $3,000 scholarship, the points went tonight to Benny Elias from Holy Cross College Ryde. The 2 points went to Digby Murray, the centre for St Gregory's, and the 1 point went to Ivan Henjak, the half for St Gregory's College. So our 2SM $3,000 tertiary education scholarship winner for 1979 goes to Benny Elias. So there they are in camera range now. You can see the Rugby League Premier ambassadors, St Gregory's College Campbelltown. A fine side which snatched this win tonight in the last seconds of play for their school on this Leichhardt Oval. And I think just reward, as they missed out last year, having been declared outright favourites. So there was their reward for 1979. Also, the Shield champions will again be wearing blazers in their school colours from the Evercraft Company. And again, we thank Evercraft for their support of the AMCO Shield. St Gregory's College Campbelltown making their victory lap. Australia's fine sporting side from the AMCO Shield and Australia's fine sporting trophy. Lifted high with a great amount of pride. So let's hear that acclamation for the 1979 champions, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're back live in our commentary box and scintillating football, as you can well see. The final score 16-13 in favour of St Gregory's College, Campbelltown, a dream come true. For them, they're worthy winners. They missed out last year, triumphant in victory, and a heartbreak evening for Holy Cross College Ryde. The underdogs, they really put it together, but missed out by those 2 points. But they live for another year, as we said, 12 of their side coming back for 1980. So how about that, ushering in a new era? So, final comments. Let's take them first of all from the lead writer of the Sydney Morning Herald, Alan Clarkson.
Well, the blood pressure has just got
I know what you mean.
I don't think I've seen a better schoolboy match for a long, long time than that, nor a more exciting one, and I think that both teams have to be commended for the spirit that they showed, the way they played the game, but particularly Campbelltown. They are worthy champions, as you mentioned in your commentary before. The fact that they were beaten 2-1 for the scrums and have been able to score 4 tries, exactly the same amount as Ryde, I think speaks volumes for their attacking flair and skill. It was a superb game of football, and I think if anyone that's watching it tonight, tell all your friends about it to watch it again on Saturday.
Alan Clarkson, Graham Hughes, what a great game.
It certainly was a great game, and full marks to Campbelltown for producing some of the best football I've seen played this season at any level. In fact, after being down 2-1 in the scrums at half-time, I thought they were gone. They produced that great football in the second half. Tries, the backs played exceptionally well in the second half. As Alan said, they had to move the ball wide. They did this, and as the tries just flowed. And as it turns out, Campbelltown, when I thought they were gone, in fact, came out outright winners, and I thought at one stage they were going to run away with it. But they were pegged back by Ryde. You know, I'm lost for words at the moment because of the fact it was such a great game.
It was a super match. But anyhow, Alan Clarkson, thanks again for your assistance and your column so far as the Sydney Morning Herald and Sun Herald are concerned for the AMCO Shield. It's always a joy to have you. We enjoy having you throughout the year, and particularly on final night.
Thank you very much. Enjoy it. Love it.
And Graham Hughes, as I said at the outset, a great fixture to the commentary box, and we look forward to having you again with us in 1980.
It's been a pleasure, John. Thank you.
Good boy. Graham Hughes.